Hey, Dr. Karen here with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest, and I'm here in Markham visiting my folks. And I want to share with you a neat dream that my dad had the other night. He woke up seemingly speaking in tongues, and my mother was quite concerned, so she, kind of woke him out of a sleep, this groggy sleep and said, "Are you okay, Nikki?" And she said that he looked kind of scared. So he just said, "I see shadows." So Mom took that as, entities or negative entities. So she started praying, and she says, "Don't worry, Mickey, I will pray," So they both fell back asleep, and in the morning, my mom asked my dad about the dream. He couldn't remember telling her about, that he was scared. But he said, "Oh, yeah, I remember about the shadows, and then it was just Karen coming out of the shadows." I thought that was really funny, because he was clearly scared, according to my mom, when he woke up. But in the morning, he completely forgot how scared he was. And it was just matter of fact, like, "Oh, it was just Karen coming out of the shadows." So I think you could take it, a negative way or a positive way. I tend to want to take it a positive way and say, "Oh, great," like whatever, my mom prayed, and then there I was, playing among the shadows and doing whatever healing work I normally do. And now my dad's not scared anymore. So, the other interesting thing was, we're talking about supercharging your healing powers at my event, September 7th to 9th. So the universe is giving me all these examples of things to help people, to train them. So it's developing as we get closer and closer to the event in September. So I'm really excited. And the other day, as we're crossing the border, it just dawned on me, hey, we can use superpowers here. Now, of course, every time I do cross the border, I kind of drop a love bomb on everyone on there and clean and clear the place. And usually we go through no problem, and they're very friendly. And this time I was driving, and I was getting to that place where I had to pick, which lane to be in. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I can feel the difference in energy of the two lanes. So I just went to the one that felt lighter. They both didn't feel bad. I already dropped the love bomb minutes before, but I went to the one, and that felt lighter or looked brighter to me, and that's like using your clairsentience in this case, or clairvoyance, to sense these things. And then when we went there, the guy there was super, super friendly. And, of course, we had no problem. And James, my husband, was like, "Oh, wow, you're super nice." I was, yeah, of course, So it's really cool. So it's just a very small example of how we can use our superpowers in a very practical way. Another little, story I want to tell you is this intuitive hit where, my mom was, she's in the choir, and, she was, she loves to sing, so she was asked to do this duet of this piece of music. And for the last month or so, I've been thinking about karaoke, and my Wellness Leadership Academy folks who were with me in the immersion know all about karaoke. So I got my mom a karaoke mic for her Mother's Day, one with a little disco ball on it and a little smartphone holder so she can look at the words while she sings. Well, she loves the thing, right? So she says, Karen, you have to help me with the piano. I need to know the alto for this new piece of the music I need to sing. It's a duet, and it's called The Prayer." And I'm like, "Really? The Prayer? Like Celine Dion, The Prayer?" And she's just like, "Yeah, that's the one." And I said, "Wow, that is so cool," because for the last month after karaoke, my experience in Toronto with my buds, I was thinking, oh, maybe there's a karaoke app, and I downloaded an app, and I hadn't actually used it yet, but the first song that I downloaded was, wanted to sing, was The Prayer by Celine Dion. And, it's a duet, and it's actually a little difficult with the harmony to figure out everything, and I hadn't gotten around to practicing it yet, but the song kept just going over and over and over in my head, like, I just kept humming it, I kept singing it, and I just think it's so funny because it was like, this is the song that my mom needed to learn, and so it was kind of like in the ethers, I could somehow sense that, and so I just kept singing it as if I was with her, but I wasn't with her. So it's like really cool stuff like that. So see if you can see those things happening in your life more and more, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was true for you. So a couple of really interesting developments this week, just some things to share with you. A couple of tips. One tip is when you're doing, clearing of negative energy off yourself and others, especially entity clearing. Sometimes you might divine muscle test that you don't have any entities, that other person doesn't have entities, but yet you still feel this tension and this conflict with that person. And there can be entities attached to the relationship. So this was, found by a friend of mine. Her name is Marie, and she actually found this out years ago. And I thought that's, I haven't really mentioned it because it hasn't really come up until recently. So go ahead and check the relationship between you and something else or you and someone else to see if that has entities. And you can quickly, heal those entities either using, my Ascension 1, all-in-one, MP3, MP4s, or you can just use the Topican healing command and use your guide team to help them clear, clean, and heal, all entities. And we'd like to love them into the light. So a little tip there. The other tip I had for you is that in my Light Warrior Revolution program this month was Overweight Part 2, and we spoke about this interesting concept of how our body can have different templates that are not human. And the reason being that we've converged multiple timelines, so sometimes the body, ends up kind of just randomly choosing a template. So some of us have actually gained a lot of weight or gone sideways because the body shape template that our body sort of made primary was like non-human, like 8 foot tall or 7 foot tall Lemurian, in my case, or maybe they are human, but they're actually not the size that you desire. So if you are allowed to have the size, the function, radiant health of what you desire, then you want to make sure that all your templates, your body templates, physical and mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, all kind of fit and are compatible with that body shape. Whether if you're 5'2", you probably don't want to be 220 pounds, right? Because you're 5'2". So, and you don't want a male template that's 6'4". And, or you don't want an alien template who's like a Nordic 8 foot tall person. So you want to specify what kind of template. Now, does everybody have to do this? No, because not everybody has this issue, but some of us do. Some of us have this issue. So we want to make sure that all of our types of bodies have the appropriate template for the appropriate timeline, and you can go ahead and do that healing for all your other timelines as well. So it's matched. So if you're Lemurian, you have Lemurian templates. We've had people that are human with alien gut systems, or at least trying to manifest alien gut systems, and it doesn't really work very well. I know for me that once I changed all my templates back into human, because I am physically human in this timeline, so the funny thing is that I went from wanting to be vegetarian to now going back to what I was eating more like 3 years ago, like more Paleolithic, kind of a variety of things, whole foods, but I really lost the taste of meat when I had the Lemurian template, but yet I kept gaining weight, more weight, and more weight. So I think that's really pretty interesting. So now I'm no longer vegetarian. Oh well. But, so check that out, see if it's relevant for you. The other tip I have for you is, if you're doing Topican healing and you come up with the Topican healing guides as you need to check your higher self, or your higher self needs to evolve. This is kind of an interesting concept. I learned this from Diana Cushionbach, my healer friend, and that your higher self evolves as you evolve, and sometimes you evolve faster than your higher self. So if you keep getting the higher self evolution over and over again, all you really need to do most of the time is just synchronize your higher self's ability to evolve at the pace that you are evolving, and vice versa, so that you're kind of synchronized in that. So if you are working very hard in your spiritual life, then your higher self can expand and evolve as fast as you. I know it's funny saying that you're evolving faster than your higher self, but according to Diana, that can happen. So check that out. And one exciting thing is, I'm calling it a new entity clearing morphic field, and it's related to the clearing vortex of source light that is in multiple different bodies, multiple different subcomponents of your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, etc. bodies. This is part of, the clearing protocols in Ascension 1 and 2, and multiple of those are also in the other programs that I have. And basically, you end up with this clearing vortex in multiple places, and most people will feel it mostly outside of them, in their auric field. And so my Ascension 1 and 2 will actually play, so to speak. Those energies will play out on the edge of that auric field. But now there's a new brand new morphic field we co-created with the universe the other day, whereby wherever your attention goes, so say you're looking to buy a house in Florida, where your attention goes, you will actually, basically download that, unless it's not for the highest and greatest good, download that positive clearing vortex of source light anywhere your attention is. So if you're worried or concerned about someone that you love in another country, you can go ahead with your attention on them. That clearing vortex will start to download for that area. So we're going to tell you a little bit more, probably with another video that I'll post in the Light Warrior Network and the Light Warrior Support Group. So definitely, if you're not part of the Light Warrior Network, definitely join that free group on Facebook. And real quick, because I'm running out of time, but on Monday, join us, or Dr. Dennis and I, as we talk about how to use LifeWave patches to get into the zone, into the 0 point more easily, so you can then quantum jump into a new reality. So that's going to be an exciting show. So join us Monday at noon and get on the mailing list at KarenKan.com so you know the link. Or you can go to blogtalkradio.com/Dr. Karen and check out the show there. All right. Until next time, lots of love to you. Bye for now.